the door and then going inside.
I'm recording now.
Okay. Hey y'all, I'm Rylan. Welcome to my channel. I'm here today to start off a new reading vlog. This one is going to be a themed vlog that I am very, very excited about. I say that about all my vlogs, but I love doing reading vlogs. I love talking about a couple of books in my themed vlog videos, and this will be another fun one, I think. Theme for this one, it's no secret, as the title and the thumbnail for this video say, but I'll be reading a couple of hockey romances and talking about them with y'all. So I've got 3 that I plan to read for this vlog. No idea, as per usual, what any of these are about, because I like to go into my books blind, but I will of course be sharing the synopses for these books as I get to them in this video. My voice has been so scratchy recently, and it's making me cough and not be able to talk very well. I'm getting frustrated about it. But let's talk very quickly about the 3 hockey romances that I'll be reading in today's video. First up is Just Don't Fall by Emma St. Clair. This is the November Mending Hearts book club pick, and I will definitely be reading this one first. It is still November, thankfully, but we're nearing the end of the month and I need to read this one before December 1st hits, ideally. But this is a hockey romance. All I know about it is that it's a clean hockey romance, so no open door scenes, I don't think, and otherwise no idea what to expect for this one. The next book is Cross-Checked Hearts. No idea what this book is about either, but I got it in a romance reveal book box and I still have not read it, of course, so going to dive into it for this video. The only thing I know is that it's a hockey romance and that he likes his best friend's little sister, maybe? The cover right here says, she's my best friend's little sister and my biggest secret. So secret relationship maybe, or he has a crush on her. I don't know, but I love the best friend sister trope or the brother's best friend trope, so this one will hopefully be very, very fun. The third book that I'll be reading for this vlog is Collide. Again, no thoughts about this book so far, but I will be borrowing this from my library and reading it on my e-reader, I believe. So I don't have a physical copy of this book, but I did want to check it out. I've been very much itching for some romance recently, and hockey romance is always a very fun time. So I'm very excited to dive into these 3 books. The way that my vlogs tend to work is that I will read 50% of the book and then I'll jump in with an update regarding the synopsis and my current thoughts on the book, and then I'll wrap up the book when I finish it. So I'll do 2 updates for each book and then I'll start my next one for the video. But I think I'm gonna go ahead and start with Just Don't Fall because I need to read it before the end of this month. It's already November 24th, so we're definitely nearing the end of the month and I really need to get to this one for the book club. So once I get to 50% of the way through it, I'll hop back in here with my first update and we can chat about it then. But we will see what it's all about, because right now, no expectations for this one. I just hope it's a very, very fun time. So I'll jump back in here, hopefully in a couple of days with my very first update, and we'll chat more about the synopsis and my thoughts on it then. But this time I won't collapse like I did yesterday. You broke my heart once again. I won't buy the dust in return. I can't give it, I can't give it, I won't give in this time. You broke my heart once again. With your breath and your body for me. I can't give it, I can't give it. I've already run with the wolves. Far from the light of the day. I can't go back to you, I'm stronger today. Been to the dark side. Hello, y'all. It's only been a couple of days since I first did my intro for this vlog, and I'm very excited to share that I have very easily binged the first 50% of Just Don't Fall by Emma St. Clair. I am on Thanksgiving vacation right now, so I have a couple of days off work and I really want to make some good progress in this while I'm gone. But before I left, I was able to hit the halfway mark, and so far it's been super duper fun. This is the November Mending Hearts book club pick, and it is a sweet romantic comedy, according to the title, about our 2 main characters whose names are Logan and Parker, and they grew up together. Logan left on his 18th birthday, I think, very suddenly, and has become a pro NHL player since. But something has happened that's kind of gotten him kicked off of his team and kind of bumped back down to the minor leagues, where he's playing for a team in some state on the East Coast, I think, and their social media manager is Parker, who is the girl that Logan grew up with. So we have this kind of second chance thing going on right now, as well as a fake dating trope, because she told her dad, who is a very wealthy man in this town, that she was going to be bringing Logan to this gala that he was hosting without actually asking Logan for his permission first. But he has ended up agreeing to go with her, and so they're just about to go to this gala, and that's pretty much where we're at right now. So far, super fun, very much a clean and cute romance, and I'm enjoying it a lot. Is there some cringe writing? 100% yes. There are some very cringy moments in this book, but I can't lie about the fact that it's super easy to binge and get into, and it's very entertaining. It has made me smile, it has made me laugh a little bit, and I really am enjoying the chemistry between our two main characters. So I'm excited to see where it goes. I have high hopes for the rest of the book. I think it'll be very, very sweet. I do feel the chemistry that the two characters have, largely because of the pasts that they had together and their friendship that they had, and how it's being explored now in the present that they're both grown up. So very much enjoying it so far, and I'm hoping to finish it up in the next couple of days. It's been very easy to binge large chunks of this book when I have a couple of minutes to read, so I am hoping to finish it up pretty quickly, but so far super fun. I'm not tabbing this book like I normally do with the book club picks, but hopefully in the new year I kind of start doing that again. I'm just kind of, I feel like on crunch time at this point, and I'm just trying to finish the books for the book club because I'm a host for it. So right now, not tabbing it, but it is very fun, very much has some cute moments in it, and I'm excited to finish it up. But that's the plan. I did end up getting my ebook for Collide from the library yesterday, so I'm hoping to start that one as soon as I finish up this one, potentially on this trip, but we'll see. I want to read, and we've been a lot busier than I thought we would, but ideally I can finish this book up pretty quickly and then start my ebook for this vlog. But I'm always such a sucker for sports romances. I think they're so fun, so cute, and so far Just Don't Fall is very much meeting those expectations, and I'm excited to see where it goes. But those are my current thoughts on the book. Is it my favorite romance that I've ever read? No, but it is very cute and sweet, and I think it'll be a great second half of the book. But I'll hop back in here when I have a second to, once I finish the book, and we'll talk about my final thoughts. But I am excited to be reading this one for the book club and talking to everybody about my thoughts on the book so far in that Discord server that we have. So that's been very fun, and hopefully the last half of the book will be just as fun. But I'll hop back in here in a couple of days, hopefully with my next update, and we will chat about my final thoughts then. It's frigid outside, and you're probably hearing all the wind blowing right now, but I wanted to hop in for a vlog update, I think like 2 days after my last one, because I ended up finishing Just Don't Fall by Emma St. Clair, and I ended up rating this book 3 stars. I didn't love it, unfortunately. There were a couple of things about it that kind of threw me for a loop. I'm moving my camera a little bit closer so y'all can maybe hear me better with the wind, but I enjoyed a lot of aspects of this book. I just thought it was a very cute and fun and sweet romance, and the slow burn is very much there. It is a clean romance, which I did appreciate, but it read more like a college romance to me rather than a professional hockey romance. Our main male character, whose name is Logan, is 30 years old, and Parker is 25, I think. So there was a little bit of an age gap, but it read more like they were in college versus being in their 30s or mid to late 20s adults. So that kind of threw me for a loop when his age was mentioned, and I felt like that kind of threw me off for the rest of the book. For some reason, just because their ages did not align with how the story was being told, or like the language, or just the things that were happening, I felt just seemed more college-like and not their age, if that makes sense. And like I mentioned in my first clip, there were some pretty cringy lines throughout this book. It was entertaining, it was cute, it very much held my attention throughout the entirety of the book, but it's not my favorite hockey romance that I've read. Would I read more by the author? Probably, if I'm in the mood for a hockey romance like this, but it was not a favorite of mine. There are some very fun tropes in it though, like second chance and fake dating, And Logan was a very, very sweet character, especially in the end when he was trying to win over Parker's heart officially and move past the fake dating things. That was really, really sweet. Overall, 3 stars. I liked it, but I didn't love it. However, I'm still very much in the mood for some more hockey romance. So now we're going to be moving into our next book, which is going to be Collide. I am borrowing this on Libby from my library, so I have the ebook, and I also got the audiobook on Libby as well. So I'll be double reading this one, I guess, with 2 formats, which has very much been my reading habits recently. I literally have zero idea what this book is about, but it seems very cute. Of course, all the hockey romance covers look like this, and a lot of them are very fun. So of course I have high hopes for it. We'll see what it's about. I really don't know what to expect with this one. I haven't seen it around a ton on social media personally. I've been seeing it in stores like Target and Barnes & Noble and things like that, but I haven't really been seeing people talk about the book in terms of their reviews on social media. So not quite sure what the hype is around this one, or if there's any, or if people have been reading this one and loving it, but hopefully I love it. The cover is super cute, and I'll let y'all know what the tropes and the synopsis for this one are once I do start it. I plan to get a good chunk done this evening, if not tomorrow during our trip home from Thanksgiving. I don't think it'll take me a long time to get to though, because it will be my next read whenever I have a chance to start it, and I've been reading pretty quickly recently just because I've been very much into the books that I'm reading, which is very helpful in terms of like my motivation to getting the books done. So there's that, but hopefully I'll hop back in here in a couple days, maybe by the end of this weekend, with my first update for this one, and I'll give y'all a synopsis as well as my current thoughts on the book, and I can actually tell y'all what it's about. As I was getting ready this morning, I reached the 50% mark in Collide by Bal Cabra, and I'm here with my first update about it. I do really like this book so far. There is, for me, some blurriness about some of the plot. In this book, we follow our main character, Summer, who is a psychology student applying for grad school, and so her grad school application has to be some sort of study that she does. I know that she's doing hers on the burnout of college athletes, and she is forced to use Aiden, a hockey player, as her subject. We don't really get a lot of details though about what the experiments or whatever that they're doing really mean. So I'm not quite sure if we'll get more information about what swimming and taking exams and what all these things kind of mean for her grad school applications subject later in the book, because right now I'm not sure Aiden knows why he's doing this project either, like what the purpose of it is for, because we're just not given those details. So I'm hoping that we get details about the full project later on, because I'm just curious about it, but I also feel like it kind of blurs the overarching plot because we're following these 2 characters for this research project, but we don't really know what the research project is, and it's frustrating me, but I got it off my chest, so I said it. But we're following these 2. They do not like each other. She has a very big dislike, very large dislike for hockey players. Her father, I guess, is a pro hockey player, or was a pro hockey player, and was very much absent in her life, and so she resents him for that, and I think that's why she does not like hockey players and does not go to hockey games, even though her school is very well known for their hockey team. They have a great team and D1 team and everything like that, but she's very much not wanting to do her project on hockey players, but her grad school advisor is making her do it. So she does not like him. At the beginning, he does not like her either, but he's very much trying to get on her good side now, which is very sweet to watch, especially because we do get to follow his POV in this one. So it's really cute. There are some confusing moments, like I've already mentioned, regarding her project, but we're finally getting to the point where she is realizing that she has feelings for him too, and the chemistry between them is growing, and they're getting to know each other better and spending more time outside of just this project that they're doing, and it's very cute. Not sure what to expect with the second half of this book. I feel like at this point I should already be like 75% of the way through the book, but when I checked this morning when I like finished getting ready, I was only at like 52%, and I'm like, well, I feel like we should be farther in the book by now. So it's kind of on the longer side. I feel like I do like it, and I don't feel like it's taking a long time to get through, but at the same time I kind of feel like I should be farther along at this point, which I'm not, which is fine, but definitely a little bit longer than I thought it was going to be. Not going to be my favorite hockey romance though, I don't think, unless we end up getting some explanation about this whole project thing that they're doing, what the purpose of it is for. But otherwise, I do like it. And the audiobook is very good. We do get to follow both Summer and Aiden's POVs with respective narrators for each one, which I always really enjoy hearing. It is making the book go by a little bit faster. I feel like just getting to listen to multiple voices narrate the book. It's not a full cast or anything like that, but you do get a different POV and a voice for both characters, which I always love to see. So I like it so far. Not my favorite book by any means. Not sure how the back half of the book will end up shaping up to be, just because of this confusion that I have over some intro things that we don't quite get to see all the way, but we'll see. They're also already done with the experiments or the paper for her grad school application, so I'm not quite sure how that's able to get done so early and how that will play a part in the rest of the book, but we'll see. I don't really know. The timeline is kind of confusing me, but we'll see how the last 50% of the book shapes up to be. Not quite sure. I do like it though. I've said that like 6 times now, I think, but I am enjoying it. We'll see how it shapes up to be. We'll see. I don't know. But I'll hop back in here when I finish the book, and hopefully I love it. I don't know. I am loving these romance books though recently. Just kind of like reading them in general has been very fun because I've read so many thrillers over the last couple of weeks. So I do just like that aspect of this vlog and these books in general, is the romance. But we'll see how this one ends up being. I'm not quite sure yet, but I'll hop back in here hopefully in a couple of days with my next update, and we'll chat more then. Good afternoon, y'all. I am here, just got home from work, and I wanted to hop in with my next vlog update because I did finish Collide last night right before I went to bed. I ended up giving this book 3 stars. I never really felt like we got clarity on what Summer's thesis or graduate application project was. Obviously she was working with Aiden to do something with him, but you don't really get any details, in my opinion, about what the project is about. And when it's mentioned and it's brought up so often, but the information regarding it is super vague, I just feel like that's very frustrating because you're not really getting to see the whole picture as to why they're really working together. All I know about it is that it's about burnout and athletes, but we don't know how the activities that she does with him at the beginning of the book, which completely stopped by the 50% mark, plays a role in that paper that she writes. And I kind of just felt like a huge piece of that aspect of the story was missing, and so I didn't love that. I also, and maybe this is kind of harsh to say, felt like Summer was a very annoying character. She is super rude to Aiden, super brisk with him, and yes, he messes up in the beginning, but I think from the very beginning parts of the book, it's very clear that he cares about her and wants to prove her wrong, prove her opinions about him wrong. And he steps up, and yes, he makes mistakes, but he's always very much in a state of like wanting to be better for her, and I don't think that Summer ever really gives him credit until the last maybe 100 pages of the book. And I also did not love that because I really liked Aiden, but I thought that maybe he was even too good for Summer in the end, which did not love. So I gave this one 3 stars. I did like it. I would read more from the author and more in the series, especially because I did really like the side characters from both Summer's friend group and also Aiden's hockey team. So I would read more. I think the second book in the series has come out, but not sure when I would ever get to it, but I would be interested in checking it out potentially, even though I didn't end up loving this one. But that's okay. It's fine. We're great. It was another hockey romance that I got to check off my list, which is fun. I'm still very much in the mood for romance, and cannot wait to start my final book for this vlog, which is going to be Cross-Checked Hearts by Callie Mel. This is a brother's best friend hockey romance, and it's about Logan and Isla. I think is how you pronounce the female main character's name. And it seems like he was the first boy she ever loved. So I am very much excited for this book. I think I might end up reading it on Kindle Unlimited because I have kind of been in a Kindle mood recently and I feel like I read books faster on my Kindle. This is a very cute copy of this book. I do like this cover, but if I read it on my Kindle, one, I might read it a little bit faster, and two, I can use it for an ebook readathon that I'm co-hosting with my bestie Stasia right now. So if I read it on my Kindle, I can kind of kill two birds with one stone and read that for the readathon, but also read it for this vlog. So I think that might be my plan for this book, but otherwise I'm not quite sure what it's about. I am planning to dive into it tonight hopefully and get a good chunk done. I do need to do a little bit of schoolwork first, but otherwise my evening is pretty open and I'm hoping to read quite a bit of stuff for various videos. So I think that's the plan. I'll hop back in here for a 50% update when I get to the halfway mark of this book. Hopefully it will not take me too long and I can come back and chat about the synopsis as well as my thoughts on the book.
Que yo ya sé que de ti I got to stay away, got to stay away. Sé que como un trofeo quieres tenerme, pero I don't need no one. Que yo ya sé que de ti I got to stay away, got to stay away. No, 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 baby, no, 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 no setbacks. No, 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 baby, no, 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 this time. You broke my heart once again.
What's up, y'all? I just got to the boyfriend's place from work and I wanted to hop in here to update this hockey romance vlog because I ended up finishing Cross-Checked Hearts by Callie Mel yesterday and I gave it 2 stars. I was going to come in here for a 50% update and then a final update for this book, but it was such a short book. It was barely 200 pages, so I kind of felt like it was more of a novella and that it would just be better for me to hop in once I finished it because honestly, don't have a lot to say about this one. I gave it 2 stars. I didn't really like it that much at all, hence the 2-star rating. This is a college hockey romance about our 2 main characters, Isla and I don't know, Logan, I think are their names. Honestly, I feel like maybe that's wrong though. Let me confirm. Yes, Isla and Logan are their names. Logan is Isla's brother's best friend and they play hockey together on their college team. Isla is a freshman at the school and she has been in love with Logan for a large chunk of her life, and it turns out she is going to be their roommate in their off-campus college apartment because they have a 3rd bedroom that is unoccupied and her brother wanted to surprise her with a room in their apartment rather than living on campus. She's like kind of nervous about it because obviously she's been in love with Logan for years now and he kept her as a secret because he kind of had a thing for her in high school as well, but never really wanted to share with anybody. It was only like a nighttime like secret, like I'll go snuggle in your bed with you type of thing. And so she's nervous and doesn't know how he's going to act around her and doesn't know how to act around him now that they are both in college. Well, it very quickly becomes evident that they still have feelings for each other, both of them do, and they have to sneak around because August, who is Isla's brother, would very much not approve of their relationship, and there's a lot of drama that goes on, a lot of back and forth. I was not a big fan of this book. I thought it was a pretty stale plot, personally. Nothing like super exciting happened in my opinion. The main characters were both a little bit annoying also, at least I was a little bit annoyed with them, and I didn't quite love the writing. It was very repetitive to me, and I feel like there was a lot of cursing in here just for the sake of having curse words and not like, they didn't add anything to the story, if that makes sense. Like, I'm totally fine with that language like in my books and in my romance too, but in the case of this book, it was just very like weird. It was like the characters were trying to be cooler by using the words that they used, but in reality it was just annoying. So I didn't love that aspect of this book either, and I was reading it on my e-reader device, and like the same word would be used like 4 or 5 times or 3 to 5 times in the span of like 2 sentences. I think like the word throat at the beginning of the book was used like 3 times in 2 sentences, and it just felt super repetitive for me. Like even those little words that were repeated so often, it was kind of just awkward. I felt like it made me feel like I was kind of clunking, I guess that's a new word that I've created, clunking around in the book and like just kind of reading the same thing over and over again. So I didn't love this one, unfortunately, and probably wouldn't continue with the series, but that's okay. So 2 stars to this one. Not my best reading vlog in terms of my reading enjoyment, but I was able to check off 2 books from my 10 before the end list, which is great, and I got to read a book club book, which is also awesome. Always an accomplishment to get that done by the end of the month. I am actually currently reading another hockey romance, which I didn't know that it was going to be hockey romance when I picked it up, so excited to keep diving into that one. It's not for this reading vlog, but I do think I'll probably end up enjoying my current hockey romance a little bit more than the 3 that I read for this vlog, which is unfortunate, but also at least I'm finding hockey romances that I still like, I think. But these 3 books for this vlog, not my favorite. But I will go ahead and do a very quick wrap up as I usually do for my reading vlogs. So first up, I read Just Don't Fall by Emma St. Clair, and I gave this book 3 stars. I did like it. It was cute. Not my favorite romance. Felt more like a college romance versus an adult romance, like a late 20s to early 30s romance. So that kind of threw me off, but it was cute, if not a little bit cringe at times. I also read Collide by Bal Cabra. This book I also gave 3 stars. I did like this one. The main character, Summer, was a little bit annoying in my opinion, and I wanted to know more information about her schooling specifically. I would read more in this series though, which I need to look into because I think there's at least one other book out in this series, and I am very intrigued by the cover. I think this one's about a dancer maybe. I don't know for sure though, don't quote me on any of that, but I would read more from this author just based off this book still. And then finally, of course, I read Cross-Checked Hearts by Callie Mel, and I gave this one 2 stars unfortunately, and probably would not continue with the series. But I read 3 hockey romances, which is very exciting. I'm very much floating between the thriller genre and the romance genre right now, and I'm not complaining about it at all. So I'm going to keep riding that wave for as long as I can. But if you've read any great romance recently, whether that's a hockey romance or any other sub-genre or romance trope, feel free to comment down below and let me know. I love to hear all your romance recommendations. But that's all that I have for today's reading vlog. Thank you all so much for watching, and I will see you all in the next one.